Okay, so I am on the move. And I wanted to take you with me. So I've spent today just packing up my suitcases in preparation for my flight, which is 10 a.m. in the morning. A super early flight. I never normally get early flights, but I wanted to document this because this is the start of a new exciting chapter for me, and I figured it would be good to document it, especially for anybody else who is wanting to make a major change, whether that be relocate, change careers, move house, whatever it is. Change often feels really scary. For me, I am going to be working from the Caribbean. For the longest while, just been feeling like just a bit stagnant and that I needed to make a big change in my life. And this is a part of it. This is the start of it, I guess. And the reason why I am doing this now is because I feel like it's got to the point where I feel like I need to make a massive change. I felt really, I don't want to say, I'm in the UK right now, but I feel like the UK isn't necessarily my place. Even though I was born here, I spent a huge amount of time here, between here and in New York. But I feel like I really need to explore other places. And that's kind of my motivation. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, if you've been in a place, maybe in your hometown, where you feel like, okay, what else, And I've had quite a few of those instances. The first time was in 2010. I remember working in London, feeling really stuck and stagnant, working in a job where everybody around me was feeling really demotivated, really just not fulfilled. And I remember that was the start of my journey where quitting things that didn't serve me anymore just became the norm. So I quit that job, and I remember I booked a one-way ticket to Brazil. And I traveled around Brazil by myself for like 6 weeks and had the most amazing time. I went to Rio, I went to Salvador, I stayed in a hostel. I did all of these things that I never thought I would do. And it wasn't just a trip, that journey was really building my courage, and it was really encouraging me to step outside of my comfort zone. And then 2 years later, I relocated to New York. You may have seen the video that I did where I shared about how I created a vision board, and everyone laughed at me for creating this vision board. Yet a few short months later, I was flown out on a one-way first-class ticket to live in New York City. And that was an incredible experience. I lived in New York from 2012 until 2018. And then a friend died in a tragic accident in New York in 2017. And at that point, I really was reflecting on what is my purpose, right? What am I here to do? And that's when I really started feeling like my New York chapter was over. So I left New York, moved back to London. Even though I didn't necessarily feel I wanted to be in London, then the pandemic happened, right? So that was 2018, and then 2020, the pandemic happened, and all of these things whereby I feel like things have kind of just been on pause a little. And I recognize that, it's not New York, it's not London. So I'm just really exploring where I want to, settle and base myself. The reason I'm sharing this, just a real quick video, is because maybe there's something in your life right now where you're thinking, I really know that I need to change. I really know that I can't carry on like this. And maybe you're feeling a little bit nervous, or maybe you've got voices in your head, people around you. Maybe it's not even your own voice. Maybe there's people around you telling you that you shouldn't do this, or that you should just stay and be miserable. I want to encourage you to listen to your gut and remember to ask yourself, what is the best that can happen? Not the worst, what is the best that can happen? Because when you reflect on the best that can happen, you start flooding your mind with all of the possibilities, but you're never ever going to know what they are unless you move outside of your comfort zone and until you get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Like, you have to have that discomfort because it's just part of the journey. But I just wanted to hop on here and say, you know, if you are feeling called to make a shift, I'm speaking to so many people who are. I just want you to know that I am with you. One of my coaching friends actually asked me this the other day. She asked me, what are my top 3 non-negotiables? And for one of them is sunshine. I need the sunshine. Like, I love the sun. The sun fuels my creativity. As a business owner, you know, it's very hard to create when you don't feel good. So the sun is really important for me. I think number 2 is community. Community of like-minded people that, you know, are aspirational, people who are creating a life on their terms, and they recognize that they are the creators of their reality, and they really, you know, wake up with a vision and a dream that they are fulfilling. Those are my people. Like, I love people that kind of go against the grain and, you know, when everyone's going right, those people who go left, they're my people, right? Because I feel like that's what entrepreneurship is all about. And the third thing, I guess, would be opportunity. You know, opportunity to not feel limited, not feel like there's like a real limit to what you can achieve. And when I thought about this, when I thought about kind of my current environment, I have some of those things, but I recognize that there's so much more to explore. So that's kind of my motivation for exploring right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna see. And like I said, I'm constantly asking myself, what's the best that can happen? So we're just en route to Heathrow now, nearly there. I left like super early to enable me to get there because I hate that mad feeling of rushing. So I've just got to Terminal 3 and I'm really early, which is good. I'm really pleased with that. I left like super early because I was worried about traffic. So yeah, here's my things. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Okay, so I'm just looking for my gate. It's not on here just yet. It says it's shown at 9:10, but it's already on my ticket, so that's all good. I'm so excited to be leaving rainy London. Just on my way to the farmers market. It's a glorious day. We have had a little bit of rain in the morning, but thankfully it's like blazing heat right now. So I'll take you with me to the farmers market. Just got to the farmers market. I love a good farmers market. It's the best, always the best produce and always like the best price as well. So I'm just in my element right here. And yeah, I'm just going to see what goodies I can find, and yeah, hopefully I can get some stuff. There's a lot of things here actually, which is nice. Oh wow, these are all from Conch. Amazing. Okay, let me get stuck in. So I managed to find some coconut that I'm going to buy to hydrate. Just got to the beach. Look how beautiful it is here. Perfect way to kick off the weekend. And in a few hours, my friend and I made friends with somebody in the hotel, so we're gonna go on a sunset cruise, which I'm looking forward to. But for now, I'm just soaking up the sound of the waves on the beach. right now. Stay with me. You're not here to just pay bills and die. I recently turned 42 and it really has got me thinking about the sort of life that I want to live, and I'm just feeling like I want to be much more intentional about my time because it's limited. We all have limited time, and I speak to so many people who are doing things that they don't necessarily love, and they're kind of just in this cycle, rinse and repeat of doing the same thing over and over again and just not feeling fulfilled. And for me, that's part of the motivation behind me coming to the Cayman Islands, just to explore and work in a new environment, because I was feeling so stuck, so stagnant in London. I can't even tell you why or where it stemmed from, but I just knew that I needed to make a change. And it really got me thinking, wow, I am halfway through my life, because I think the average life expectancy for women in the UK is 82. I just turned 42. So that's more than halfway through, right? If I am lucky, will have 40 more summers, just 40 more summers, potentially, right? And that really is not something I take for granted. And I often think about the Stoics, the great Greek philosophers. They used to practice death every day, practice death. And not in a morbid way, in a way to make them realize that their time is limited. And don't get me wrong, I'm not somebody who is massively stoic. I'm actually quite the opposite, very empathetic, very emotional. I feel things that, I really am. But that in particular really got me thinking, wow, like we have limited time here. So I just want to remind you, for somebody who is feeling like you are stuck in this cycle, to really ask yourself, what is the first step? What is the first step that you can do to create something new for yourself? And I really think self-awareness is really important, because for me, I recognize that your environment is more likely to change you than you are to change your environment. So it's really important to put yourself in environments where you feel that you can thrive, where you feel inspired, where your network are, having positive conversations and you really feel like you're growing. That to me is really, really important. Then the second step is really just action in some sort of way. So for me, changing my environment has been huge for me, but also thinking about what are the limiting beliefs or stories that may be keeping you stuck. So maybe you're telling yourself that you're too old, or you don't have enough money, or whatever it is. It's really important to recognize those limiting beliefs that may be keeping you stuck. And then the third thing I would say that I've done is really just to think about what is the best that can happen. I wrote about this on LinkedIn and I got a lot of support and encouragement on that, but I think it is really important. Sometimes we dwell too often in the worst case scenarios, but when you're wanting to create a big change, I think it's important to think about the best possible outcomes in an almost delusional way, because otherwise we will stay stuck in reality. Don't get me wrong, reality has its place. But when you want to create a big change, it's super, super important, because we require so much momentum to make a big shift that we need to focus on the positive outcomes. Don't worry about how you're going to make it happen. First of all, just get clear on what that vision is, feel into it, feel really good about it, and then take the necessary steps, because otherwise what will happen is we'll just spend another year and another year doing stuff that we don't particularly love in fear, right? So I think it's really important to get clear, really reflect on what it is that you want. work on those limiting beliefs, you know, work on those stories. What story are you telling yourself that isn't even true? We all have stories that hold us back. So this is what I'm doing here in Cayman. I really hope that you've enjoyed this vlog. I will show you a little bit over the next coming weeks of what I'm doing here. But for now, just ponder on that, you know, because our time is limited, and I really have been reflecting on that ever since, in recent years actually, to be honest. But yeah, I really feel like, you know, time is moving so fast. So yeah, I hope that you are being intentional with your time and how you want to live as well. Bye for now.